Have you ever thought to yourself, I am just not creative. I don't have any creative ideas. I don't know what to do. I feel stuck in what I'm doing. Well, you're not alone in that. I personally feel that often whenever I'm in a job that makes me think creatively all the time. We've got camps and conferences and events to plan for, and all of them require creative ideas. And before I even started working here at Connect, I thought, no way would I ever be a creative. There's no way I can come up with creative ideas. And then I remembered, and someone told me that I was made by a creative God. And a creative God makes me creative. So I am innately creative, and you are too. So whenever I feel stuck, that's the first thing I want to remember, is that I am creative. I have the capability to come up with creative ideas and to think creatively, but that doesn't mean I don't get stuck sometimes. So whenever I was sitting one time in a conference meeting, we were trying to come up with this grand opening for how are we going to start our 2026 conference. And the lights were bright. It was a Friday afternoon. We were in a cold conference room. I mean, literally cold. The air was blowing right on us. And that environment was not generating ideas. For us, it was really hard to come up with an idea for that. So then I thought, what's something I can do to make this better? And the first thing was, I could probably set the stage for this, for a better environment for the people that are in this creative brainstorm meeting. So the first thing that we did that's very helpful when trying to think creatively is to set the stage. Now, whenever we set the stage here at Connect, we do it in a variety of ways. Some of these might work for you, some of them may not. We try to have fun snacks. In this picture here, we were in the middle of a brainstorm for our theme, and they're literally eating ice cream. Why? Because it's fun. Because it helps set the stage. It helps get the mood good. Because when people are in a good mood, they're more likely to contribute to a creative brainstorm. Then over here, we were focusing on our 2026 theme, and it's all about the city. So we had some city skylines in the back. There's a little taxi. There's a coloring sheet. And in this environment, I felt like I could think about the city because I was in the environment of a city. Now, a couple other random things that have worked for us when setting the stage is having fidgets available, some Play-Doh, making sure the lights aren't too harsh, making sure the aesthetic of the room is something that I wanted to be a part of. And that changed the creative brainstorm meetings a ton for us here at Connect. But that's not the only thing that we would do. Another thing we do is before we even try to come up with a creative idea, we take it upon ourselves to get inspired. So number 2, we're gonna have to get inspired. There are many different ways that we have tried. We've gone to literal places. These are pictures. We were down in Orlando visiting a church once, and we were like, man, we're gonna be doing some sports stuff coming up. We should probably go see a sports atmosphere. So this is a hotel at Disney World. There's basketballs, there's stuff for baseball, there's stadium lights, specific fonts, giant football helmets, crowds, and all of these things inspired us when we started building Connect FCA camps. Now, that's not the only way. We know that's a budget thing. You may not be able to go all the way down to Disney World, but you can look on Pinterest. We use Pinterest all the time. We screenshot things. This was an idea for a candy shop. Colors, what it might look like, what's a good aesthetic for it to be, some cool fonts. And this helped me get inspired when I was thinking about potential themes for camp. So you can look at Pinterest. You can look at AI. A lot of people use AI. Now, this isn't necessarily somewhere that we like to start, but it can be really helpful to generate lots of ideas to get you on the right track. It is much harder to start from nothing. We want to start from nothing, so we always try to get inspired before we try to come up with a creative idea. And then the third thing we do, we've already set the stage for our meeting. I set the lights, I got snacks, I got fidgets. Then I spent time beforehand. I was on Pinterest. I generated some ideas on ChatGPT. I did an in-person visit somewhere. Then I'm finally at my meeting. And it's time for me to pick up the marker. Literally pick up the marker. I know for me, I never thought that my drawing skills were good enough to be the one to pick up the marker in a creative brainstorm, and you might feel that too. But it doesn't matter the quality of what we do, it matters that we get ideas out there and we pick up the marker. This could be literally picking up the marker with a whiteboard. See, my drawings, they're not good, but it helped us get where we needed to be. Then there's also Canva. I love a Canva mock-up. Are these t-shirts ever gonna see the light of day? Probably not, but it did get us to the t-shirt that really will be used. And I would have never gotten there without just trying. I am not a designer, but I tried. There's also AI prompts. These were generated in an AI software. I mean, there's 15 or 20 versions before we got the one we were actually going to use. It's so important to just pick up the marker. Just try. This is on Canva, they have a brainstorm tab. This goes for miles and miles and miles. And at least for me, I never thought I was the qualified one to pick up the marker and to just start having ideas. We can't ever rely on one person to carry the creative weight. We want everyone to contribute their ideas. Now, I know these tips have worked for me and the creative team here at Connect, and these 3 practical tips have helped us think much more creatively whenever we're in a meeting together.